President F.W. de Klerk taking place in Cape Town. South Africa's last apartheid-era president passed away on the 11th of November. He was laid to rest on the 21st of November in a private ceremony. Still, there's debate about his legacy. It remains deeply contested. Some criticize him for perpetuating apartheid, others for ending it. De Klerk himself said in his younger years he defended what he called separate development, as he never liked the word apartheid. He did so when he was a member of parliament and a member of cabinet. But afterwards, he said he apologized for the pain and the indignity that apartheid brought to the people of color in South Africa. Some believed him, some did not. I guess as the Nelson Mandela Foundation put it, de Klerk's legacy is a big one. It is also an uneven one, something that South Africans are called to reckon with. We'll take you live now to Cape Town, bring in Abra Barbier. She's live for us there. Abra, you have eyes on the memorial service. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Sentiment on the ground, what are you hearing?
You as well. I'm going to start off with a quote. Just to give some context to all the conversation and the sentiment on the ground that we are discussing today. This was a quote that FW made in 1993 when he jointly was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize with Nelson Mandela. It goes, "We owe it to the children of the world to stop the conflicts and create new horizons for them. They deserve peace and decent opportunities in life. We will soon fight a strenuous election campaign against one another because there's no other road to peace and prosperity for the people of our country. There's no question of turning back." Now, of course, this was just ahead of the first democratic elections in 1994. And on paper, we can see what de Klerk was saying was basically that he had his Damascus moment, he grasped the idea of taking South Africa into another direction. Even in the last video that he made, which was released on the day or two after his death, he said that he started rethinking his stance as early as the 80s. So he has been trying to explain, to apologize and to explain himself. However, that is not exactly what people are feeling on the ground today and for the past few years. Just outside Parliament, just outside the church right now, there's a group of people who are protesting. They're holding up banners basically saying it's too little, too late, justice delayed is justice denied. They are saying that it's disgusting that the state is hosting this memorial service today when de Klerk in fact has blood on his hands. They are saying that many families of apartheid victims still have no closure today because there are no answers. We know what happened at the TRC. He did appear before the TRC, but people just feel that not enough answers were given and were revealed during that time. So that is the sentiment on the ground. Then of course we have the other school of thought, people who say he was a former state president, he was the second deputy president during the government of national unity under Nelson Mandela. They say that he needs to be commended for the role that he played in dismantling apartheid. So as I said earlier, it's two very, very polarized positions on the ground. And because of that, we have heard that there would be protests. The one that I referred to earlier on, it's very small. It looks like they are being removed. I'm just trying to peep over the fence. It looks like the protesters are being removed right now. It's a bit of a distance away from where we are, so we can't get you there right now. But that's what's happening at the moment. We're hoping to speak to the Minister in the Presidency, Mondli Nkupele, who is right behind me speaking with another broadcaster at the moment. He will be the program director of the state's part of the memorial service today. What's happening at the moment is it is the family, it's divided into two parts. It's the family part of the memorial service today. We had friends and family members up in front talking about who FW was to them. The one gentleman who was up there described FW as being a thinking man, saying that he obviously put a lot of thought and effort into into how things panned out in South Africa, into making the decisions that he made. Of course, I'm referring to the statement that he made in the National Assembly at the opening of Parliament in 1990, where he declared the unbanning of the ANC and he declared his intention to release Nelson Mandela. Let me just try to grab Minister in the Presidency. Sir, thank you so much for joining us. I know you don't have much time. I'm telling my colleagues in Joburg, they're asking us what the sentiment on the ground is. Over there we have people protesting, saying that what's happening here today is disgusting, considering who it is who is being honoured here today. So why did the government decide to go the route that it did with this memorial service today?
May I take this opportunity again to extend our condolences on behalf of government to Mrs. de Klerk, her family, friends and foundation, and the entire community of South Africa, which lost its first deputy president in a democratic South Africa. To respond to your question, we may have many views with regard to what de Klerk stood for. I'm a black person who was affected by that. I worked in the mining industry. That is the debate we're always going to have for many years. But logic, history, and truth will not forgive us for denying the fact that he made an announcement that led to the turn of events in the country, which led to the outcome of a constitution on the basis of which we are all living together as a single family in this country. To those who are marching, who are reminded of a pain, it's correct not to forget the pain. But it is correct also to acknowledge the fact that the constitution he participated in its production constitute a course towards the healing of that pain. What we must also accept, his death also remind us that that constitution he participated in its construction, to what extent are we implementing as we were celebrating its 25th year yesterday?
Minister, thank you so much for your time. I believe you have to go in right now. I'll catch up with you later on. Well, there you have it, Blaine. Minister Mondli Ngubele, who actually said something very profound right now. He said that as a black man living in South Africa during that time, he understands, he lived through it, he understands the anger, and he says, no, we cannot forget certain things. But he says also credit needs to be given where it's due. And of course, he is referring to the various historical matters that played out, CODESA, the Constitution, the unbanning, and referring to the people we just saw protesting. He says they are entitled to their emotions, they are entitled to their feelings, and that they should not forget. I'm just told now that the protesters who were there were in fact chased away by police. They are not there right now. I did mention earlier that the entire perimeter around the Groote Kerk, it's barricaded, heavy police presence, so nobody can get, unless you're coming here en masse, nobody can get in quite close, even us as media, and there are a whole lot of media houses over here right now. We all have to go through various processes to move in and out of the church as well. You can't, it's not easy to just get through the barriers. The area's been blocked off a couple of blocks away, in fact. So other protests we heard of, nothing major seems to be happening right now. It was just those few who have now been cleared from the scene. Blaine?
Your conversation with the minister is interesting. And I guess the questions currently being asked, Abra, was FW de Klerk perceptive, discerning, and a visionary, or did he have no other option but to make the announcement that he made back in 1990? I guess those are the questions that people are grappling with still. These are live visuals from inside. Talk to us about the program, Abra. Run through it to us, for us. Oh, I'm told that Abra we just lost our audio to Abra there, so we will try to get back to her in a short while, and also dip into the memorial service. Abra Barbier, live for us there in Cape Town. We thank her very much indeed. Let's remind you, President Cyril Ramaphosa is expected to deliver the eulogy at the state memorial service of former President FW de Klerk in Cape Town. De Klerk, as you know, died of cancer last month at the age of 85. Government says in a statement that this service will take place where Abra was, Groote Kerk. Attendance will be limited due to COVID-19 regulations.